Hey everybody. So I want to make this video around the subject of why exactly you haven't been overrun by AI sales and marketing bots yet. And it all boils down to only one simple part of the equation. And so I want to make that really straightforward up front. It isn't because corporations don't ask for it. So any corporate work that I've done around AI, any sort of corporate work that I've bid on, it's never like a project we want to build an orphanage for children and we want to maximize our dollars for the orphanage. Um, it's always like we want to automate our sales and marketing process 100%, and we want the AI to automate all of that process and perhaps have a human involved in there. 95% of the time, that's what I get asked. And then um, that's if I get asked that 95% of the time, I'm sure that everybody gets asked that 95% of the time. So then that begs the question of why aren't there just bots flooding everywhere around the sales and marketing thing? Because um, the bottom line of that is that essentially it's hard to train a bot on that level, for sales and marketing data specifically, because you need the data. Is the bottom line in order to build uh, that particular, in order to build, let's take for example a simple equation. I want to build a machine learning algorithm that will classify leads into cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. I can build that with the code that we're looking at here directly on the screen. The code isn't hard at all. Code takes 5 minutes to do. This is it. This is essentially utilizing an algorithm called naive Bayes, which essentially the difference with the reason why I like that algorithm for this particular calculation is because it will ignore each one of the individual data points for, let's say, for example, cold leads. If it's looking at hot leads, it will ignore what's in cold leads. It won't care. It'll be naive to that column, naive Bayes. Um, and so that's why I like that particular algorithm here. So that would be my recommendation. I'd go for what I know about algorithms. I'd start testing here. Maybe I might mix something else along with this, but a naive Bayes would at least get us a good start. And I know that up front, so I can formulate that conclusion and move past some initial hurdles with that and then get this in. But then so it's once I spin this up, it's not going to do anything. There's no data associated with it. It's 33% of, I mean, essentially, if I spun this up without any data and then I just gave it the 3 columns, because it would need the 3 columns first, right? But it would essentially 33% of the time it would say it's a cold lead, 33% a warm lead, and 33% a hot lead. What else is it going to go off of? But so then let's talk about data as far as what I could feed it. So when we're talking about creating a sales and marketing bot, which is what I get most often talked to, right? I want the ultimate sales and marketing bot. Okay, let me take a look at the data that's available to me and to everyone around that. So if I go to Hugging Face and I type in sales, I've got a 2015 sales data set. Okay, there's probably 100 columns here. Let's see. This is empty. Okay, cool. So I worthless. This one called sales, empty, worthless. Cool. Cannabis sales. So if you're interested in that, I could probably get you something. Oh no, sorry, it's empty. Let's keep going. Here's someone's sales bot. 960 rows. And then I mean, this is a ChatGPT, probably 3.5 prompts. So that's what you get. And it's all about the sole fit shoes. It's probably ChatGPT 3.5 hallucinating a lot there. Salesforce code. Pretty cool. I'd have some lines there, maybe 100 lines. 6 rows. Cool. 6. Crypto. Get you some crypto answers. Salesforce. So a few Salesforce things, and there's a few people that'll get you that, but it's 1 row each. But then there's one cool thing that I've noticed here. So I just want to highlight this. All of this is true except for if you're in one particular industry, somebody hates you. And it's the banking industry. If I want to do bank marketing, I have hundreds. I don't know particularly what this data is, but I know as a data analyst and someone that can read this data, this is high quality data. I want to train a algorithm on this data. I don't know who made it. They knew exactly what they're doing. It's a number of rows that I like, 100,000 rows, which is a large number of rows, but then not too large. These columns and what I'm seeing here in this data is broken out. I can just load this straight into a model. It's going to take it in, and I can tell that the data is clean. It's already been ingested, already in the format that I need it to be, and I can tell that it's numbers. Like, I don't know what these numbers mean, but the numbers mean good things. Lots of numbers here. So bank marketing, again, somebody hates you, but if you're not in bank marketing, like there's six of them, like, and like I could go wild, but so if you are excluded from this particular data set, and these particular data sets, then like I have like six columns and six rows basically when I'm going through. Like, here's email samples, marketing email samples. I have 487 examples of marketing emails. Like, I don't think like giving Llama V2 487 marketing email samples is going to make it like the greatest marketer in the world. As far as books, I have a single book. There was, when I remember, when I go back to sales, there's one book, sales textbook for convincing and selling. Here it is, building rapport. It's 1,446 rows total, 460 rows total. Cool. So I mean, it's a book. I would definitely, like, why not feed the model this book? So yeah, I would feed it this book for sure. So I'm gonna have it with a book. I'm gonna have it with about 100 rows of Salesforce data. Um, that's, I mean, unless it's like again, like if you're talking banking or cannabis sales for some reason, let's go. But like, other than that, like, I'm like, KRAs. Let's see if I have anything here. 110 rows again. Like, again, I'm gonna have like 110 rows of anything that I actually really want, like, which is not going to be significant enough to do anything for your bot. So that's, again, when we come back to the fundamental question: why haven't you been overloaded with these bots? Because I don't have the data, plain and simple. Like, if I had more data here, if people had more data here, um, then you'd be a lot more overloaded. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Like, it's probably a good thing overall that the data doesn't exist in this capacity, but I don't know, because the other part of the equation is that that's, potentially a bad thing, because the data does exist, right? There's corporations like that have massive amounts of sales data that they can do whatever they want with, and so they can train a sales army. Like, they can couple that data with, all of these sales textbooks, and then they would have the know-how and the actual usefulness to be able to do that. Whereas if I just fed it a bunch of sales textbooks, it wouldn't matter, because I don't have the sales data to back it up, and vice versa. So like, there right now, corporations are in a unique position. So it's, while it is good that like this data isn't disseminated out to everyone, it's not a matter of, okay, the problem solved because the data doesn't exist, because the data does exist in the world. It's just, who do you want utilizing it, and do you want to know what it is? Because like, that's what the equation is at the moment overall, not like that this doesn't exist or you can't do it. Um, and eventually that dam's going to break, and then once that dam breaks, then everyone's going to be overloaded with this anyway. So then it's, why not like figure these things out now? Again, the coding's not hard. This is the code. So I just take the code here, and then I take one of these data sets, and then if one of these data sets actually had worthwhile amounts of data in it, rather than 6 rows, if this was 6 billion rows, I could just say, here's my code, plug into 6 billion rows, let's go. And then it would be done. But plugging it into 6 rows isn't going to do anything. So that's what again, the only bottleneck in the equation right now that you're looking at is here. And you can see it's a pretty clear bottleneck, but it's going to be solved at some point. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.